Chapter 25. What is scholarship? Heel are sharp, Rashmi Akusakar, Avinash Suk. Abstract. Educational research is a growing field both in its scope, quality, and quantity. Scholarship is driven by research and the formulation of a hypothesis that creates new knowledge. This was believed to be the gold standard of educational research. This view was a limited view of understanding educational scholarship. Boyer expanded this view to include many other activities: scholarship of discovery, application, integration, and teaching. This chapter clarifies various terms related to scholarship and outlines the steps to conduct research, the obstacles that may be faced, and suggestions to overcome them. Technology is increasingly playing a pivotal part in the conduction and publication of research. The authors suggest possibilities for the use of technology and methods to harness it. Finally, the chapter concludes with simple tips to enhance teachers' scholarship portfolio. Key words: educational scholarship, tips for scholarship, technology, growth of scholar. Assess need. Are you a scholar? Do you engage in scholarship in medical education? Most teachers would reply negatively to these questions. At the same time, most would affirm that they engage in scholarly work, research, and other outputs in their respective disciplines. This ambivalence implies that the transition from a clinical researcher to medical education scholarship is slow and often incomplete. Many factors such as paucity of time and competing interests may be responsible for this. Lack of clarity of terms and understanding of what scholarship implies in medical education and its benefits are other factors. Most medical educators engaged in a teaching institute think of scholarship as a means for research publications. In medical education, one needs to take a more comprehensive view of what constitutes scholarship and a scholar. Teachers spend a tremendous amount of time and resources on valuable activities such as the development of curriculum, assessment, and teaching. These are the bedrock for ensuring good quality graduates. Unfortunately, this work of teachers was neither appreciated nor awarded any consideration for promotion. Ernst Boyer's work was a turning point in redefining the concept and scope of scholarship. He identified 4 types of scholarship: scholarship of discovery, application, integration, and teaching. In a recent AME guide on educational scholarship, the authors have described scholarly teaching, the scholarship of teaching and learning, and scholarship. A scholarly teacher is reflective and uses evidence from the literature to improve his teaching, curriculum design, or assessment. SOTL is the process of contributing to the community of medical teachers by an organized inquiry into the learning of students and sharing the findings in the public domain. However, at times it is difficult to demarcate the two. The scholarship is publicly disseminated activities that advance practice and knowledge for health professions educators and or the health professions education community. In the truest sense, scholarship implies a systematic methodology to find an answer to a problem or an issue by referring to the literature and collecting and analyzing data. Thus, scholarship includes not only publication of educational research, such as randomized controlled trials or bench investigations, but also public dissemination of one's work through activities such as conducting teaching workshops, giving invited lectures, and creating assessment plans. A person may begin as a scholarly teacher and progress to SOTL or move into other domains of scholarship. The process may be cyclical, with scholarly teaching leading to SOTL, which may lead to the scholarship of discovery. In this chapter, we shall discuss scholarship, which will be expanded in the next chapter on SOTL. Brief. Educational scholarship is an important criterion for the professional growth of teachers. It includes not only original research but also public dissemination of one's work through a variety of activities such as conducting teaching workshops, designing instructional resources, and creating assessment plans. To qualify as scholarship, a product or innovation needs to be built on prior knowledge, be publicly disseminated, peer-reviewed, and open for others to build on. The skills involved in scholarship development can be acquired and practiced. Contextualize scenario. Many teachers were baffled with the outcome declared by a promotion committee in a famous institute. An associate professor in the Department of Anatomy missed an opportunity for promotion, citing inability to fulfill the prescribed number of research publications as a problem. The committee rejected his application for advancement. He is a passionate teacher and caring mentor. Students flock to attend his class. How did such an exceptional teacher not meet the criteria for promotion? There were two important issues flagged by this decision. One was the inability of teacher to convert his strengths into research publications and other forms of scholarship. Are there avenues to achieve them? Secondly, how does one give value to the significant work done by teachers, such as the passion for teaching and disseminating the art and science of teaching through invited lectures and workshops? There must be mechanisms to appreciate and award these contributions. This example underscores the need for teachers to be familiar with and practice scholarship in medical education. Describe. Traditionally, the gold standard of scholarship has always been publications of research with creation of new knowledge. This presented a limited view of scholarship. Boyer expanded this view to include many other activities or teacher in the ambit of scholarship and worthy of being considered as a criteria for promotion. A teacher conducts activities and takes on roles that may be beyond the current definition of scholarship. Boyer looked beyond research and described four types of scholarship in medical education. 1. Scholarship of discovery includes traditional research activities and publications that broaden the knowledge of a discipline, e.g., review papers, empirical research, development of new theories or concepts in a discipline. 2. Scholarship of integration makes links across disciplines that foster appropriate use of concepts across disciplines, e.g., a systematic review of faculty development which is not limited to medical education, cross-disciplinary research, using practices from one discipline to inform and adapt practices in another discipline, such as using gaming for robotic surgery skills development. 3. Scholarship of application calls for using theory in practice, including using theories or ideas from other disciplines, e.g., reviewing for journals, utilizing the learnings from the publications of others to improve teaching learning practices, creating a curriculum or teaching and learning method using constructs of theory and evidence-backed knowledge. 4. Scholarship of teaching involves developing new and evidence-based ways to facilitate and assess learning, e.g., a presentation of a systematic review of the effectiveness of methods used for assessment or for a talk to sharpen leadership to improve education, innovation, and improvisations in education. SOTL will be discussed further in the next chapter. Criteria for educational scholarship. Scholarship in medical education has been defined as a tangible product such as a journal article, a book, a presentation, a durable educational product, new knowledge, or its presentation that was peer-reviewed or publicly disseminated. This definition is expanded to include products besides research articles, like webinars, presentations on curriculum evaluation, presentations of assessment programs, etc. For an activity to be an indicator of scholarship, it needs to fulfill the following criteria. 1. The work involves expertise in the discipline. 2. The activity should have clarity of goals, preparation of good groundwork and use of appropriate methods. 3. The final product has an element of reflection and is publicly disseminated. 4. It must be built on prior constructs, principles, or best practices and is beyond individual utility and significance. Others can build on it. 5. Peer-reviewed. Figure 1. The 5 P's of scholarship: product, process. Peer-reviewed, publicly disseminated. Platform, product can be built upon. Importance of scholarship. Educational scholarship helps a broad spectrum of stakeholders in the education system by providing them with many answers. All stakeholders benefit differently. 1. Administrators and regulators learn ways to improve governance and create policies that foster learning. Regulators have guidelines for comparison of standards and benchmarking. 2. Teachers are empowered by being informed of best practices, evidence-based methods that are effective strategies. 3. Students' scholarship sheds light on pathways to achieve competency. 4. Clinicians' best practices help in clinical management. 5. Community and country improvement of healthcare through the use of evidence-based strategies. How to begin a journey into scholarship. 1. Decide on an area of interest. To begin, reflect on the long-term professional goals and align scholarship goals to them. Break the goals down to short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. Create a timeline depending on your expertise and context. The most crucial part of academic research is asking and answering important questions related to medical education. Identify a question that you are genuinely and passionately interested in. While some questions may be suggested by others, such as a department head, others may emerge from your interactions or personal reading. 2. Collaborate. Any research project is the work of a team. Multiple skills such as proficiency in concepts and theory, educational research design, scientific writing, statistical analysis, networking are required. Involving stakeholders within and across institutions can be the key to success. Following the agreed timelines, motivating each other, and keeping the goal in sight irons out the process. Write up the research proposal. 3. Improve standards for a scholarship. Vlasic et al. Have proposed standards for evaluating research and project proposals. These are presented here as a checklist and can be used whilst preparing your research papers. A clear goals is the statement of purpose clear. Are the aims enunciated? Are the research questions appropriate? The adequate preparation. Has a thorough literature review been conducted to identify the gaps in knowledge on the paper's topic? See appropriate methods. Are the methods, instruments, and design appropriate for answering the research questions? These significant results. Do results answer the questions and achieve the goal? Does the research add to the literature in that area? Does the research open more avenues for exploration? Effective communication is the writing scientific, clear, and appropriate for the audience. Is the message coherent and reflect integrity? F. Reflective critique. Do the researchers adequately reflect on their work? Does the scholar use evidence from the literature to support or argue their case? Are limitations acknowledged and pathways for future research highlighted? 4. Overcoming barriers. The barriers to scholarship are intrinsic to the study and include a lack of time and formal research training. The paucity of funds, resources, collaborators, mentors, and support by administrative leaders are other extrinsic factors that are a deterrent to scholarship. Sometimes the learners who are subject of the study may be disinclined and not consider the study valuable. Think of ways to navigate beyond this. Table 1. Obstacles and suggestions for overcoming them. Obstacle. Paucity of ideas. Solutions. Read review articles. Brainstorm. Not sure how to conduct research project. Get training, join others as an assistant, get a mentor. Difficulty in data gathering, anticipate network use of reminders, involve students to brainstorm on effective ways of gathering data. Difficulty in data analysis, consult methodological papers, books, a statistician or expert colleagues. Procrastination in writing, set deadlines, break them into smaller pieces, ask colleagues, team to support. Rejected article, do not lose hope. Use feedback to improve and resubmit quickly. Lack of funds. Learn how to apply for grants. Know where grants are available. Advocacy for increased funding in this area. 5. Forums for publication. Completed research can be presented and published in either paper-based or digital formats. Each has its advantages. At journals, the choice of journal is an informed decision. It is based on the intended audience and type of study. Should it be published in a specialty or education journal? Should it be a national, regional, or international journal? Factors to consider are index journals. The advantage of an index journal is that it offers a broader reach and better chances for citations and translation to other contexts. PubMed, Sciences Citation Index, INDEX are a few indexing agents. National, regional, or international, the type and content of research determines the article's usefulness. If findings can be generalized across continents, one could try for an international journal. Opting for a national journal seems more appropriate if the study is more locally relevant. Open access journals. The philosophy behind open access journals is to have a broad reach and make research available to all. However, authors may find the cost of publishing in open access exorbitant. Impact factor of the journal. The impact factor of a journal is calculated from the number of citations received by the articles. Whether this reflects superior research is a debatable issue. However, currently this parameter is significant to propagate one's research and oneself as a researcher. This is a well-known but controversial parameter of a journal's reputation. Influential journals. Some journals are distinguished because of the quality of their work irrespective of their impact factor. Specialty journals, medical education articles may be published in either specialty or educational journals. The deciding factor for the choice of journal is the topic of research and the target audience. Manuscript types journals publish manuscript types such as original articles, reviews, editorials, brief communications, letters, viewpoints, to name a few. Check instructions for the specific manuscript type that you are attempting to write. The table below mentions a few journals, their impact factors, accessibility, and the link to instructions for authors. Table 2, list of some journals in medical education. Specialty journals where articles related to medical education are also published. 1. Academic emergency medicine. 2. Academic psychiatry. 3. Advances in physiology education. 4. Cell biology education. 5. Family medicine journal. 6. J. General internal medicine. 7. Indian Journal of Pediatrics. 8. Indian Journal of Gastroenterology. 9. JAPI FOGSI Association Journals. 11. Journal of Pharmacology and Pharmacotherapeutics. 12. Anatomical Sciences Education. 13. American Journal of Pharmaceutical Education. 14. The New England Journal of Medicine. 15. National Medical J India. 16. Journal of Rural and Remote Health. 17. Journal of Postgraduate Medicine. be digital platforms, clearing houses or web portals. Many professional and educational associations have started their web portals. All educational and other material is peer reviewed and posted on these websites. Educational tools for measurement and such resources can be submitted to clearinghouses. Please find some of the links below. AAMC Repository for Peer-Reviewed Educational Materials www.amc.org/members/ge/cube.htm Alliance for Academic Internal Medicine Educational Tools www.aim/tools/default.htm Society of Teachers of Family Medicine www.eserb.musc.edu/prn/resource American Physiologic Society www.theapps.org/education Association of Surgical Educators www.surgiceducators.com/educler/index.htm Association of Professors of Obstetrics and Gynecology www.pgo.org/resourcnetwork Council on Medical Student Education in Pediatrics www.unmc.edu/community/concept MedEd portal www.mededportal.org MedEd Publish https://www.mededpublish.org/home Others, blogs, social media can also serve as channels for disseminating information. 6. Handling setbacks such as rejection. Whilst it is disappointing to receive a rejection, one must view the feedback as a source for improving one's current and future work. Poor writing, poor problem definition, inadequate data or statistical analysis are common causes of rejection. Role of departments and institutions in fostering educational research. Research does not occur in a vacuum. Nurturance by the institution, department, and professional bodies facilitates the growth of research. Help may be available in many ways. Figure 2. The ways institutes can offer help. Frames for institutes to promote educational research. Structural positions of leadership for educational related activities, medical education office with members peer reviewing curriculum. Programs gives feedback to teachers, access to journals, literature. Human resource have faculty development programs in medical education and research includes scholarship in field of need as a criteria for promotion and progress. Political educators in leadership position advocacy for allocation of funds for educational research. Symbolic have leadership attend Education Day. Events highlight important activities of educational researchers, best teacher, teaching department awards. Role of technology in research. The digital scholarship aids educational scholarship activities by facilitating the flourishing of the creative and reflective aspects. It has opened the following avenues. 1. Open access and non-peer-reviewed outputs. These allow for broader dissemination, especially in low-resource settings. Open access journals may have an established pre-publication or post-publication peer review process. Non-peer-reviewed scholarly outputs, including research and teaching, are often presented as conference proceedings. Some of these may be peer-reviewed. 2. Social media such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter may be used to present educational research. Form which includes blogs, podcasts, videos, virtual reality, and augmented reality is helpful as teaching aids, especially where traditional training is deficient. 3. Digital analytics is used to measure numerous online activities. Google Analytics and Altmetric are free online platforms that compute the number of open access publications and social media comments. This data gauges the utility and popularity of the scholarly output. Understanding bibliometrics and digital analytics. Measurement of impact is one of the critical yet controversial issues in educational scholarship. Traditionally, this is referred to as bibliometrics. In the digital world, the terms for the impact are altmetrics, cybermetrics, or webometrics. They play a role in obtaining grants and awards, criteria for promotion, and university ranking. Please find some examples of impact measurement below. General resources. 1. Google Scholar Citations is a free service which facilitates authors to create their profile and provides H-index and I-10 index. H-index is based on a scientist's most cited papers and reflects productivity and impact. The number of citations helps in calculating I-10. The utility of the H-index is to compare researchers of similar career length in a similar field or subject. It gives a snapshot of the scholar's profile access. http://scholar.google.com/intl/and/scholar/citations.html. 2. SC Mago Journal and Country Rank. Scopus runs a free website to provide two metrics: SC Mago Journal Rank and Source Normalized Impact per Paper Access. http://www.scmagaja.com. 3. Scopus is a paid subscription database. Metrics include standard options such as several times cited and H-index, SJR, and SNP. They also have an alt metric for Scopus, which is a third-party application displaying mention of paper across social media. Access http://www.scopus.com. 4. Web of Knowledge, which includes the Web of Science, was the pioneer in this field. It provides H-index, impact factor, eigenfactor, and field-based journal rankings. Though mired in controversy, they are considered the gold standard in traditional bibliometrics. Access http://www.webofknowledge.com. Altmetric resources. 1. Altmetrics.org is a free and central website for information about the growing altmetrics approach. Altmetrics is the study of new metrics based on the social web for analyzing and informing scholarship. It may look at factors such as the number of views, discussions, citations, saves, and recommendations. Altmetrics.org uses new online tools for calculating impact. Access http://altmetrics.org. 2. Impact Story. It is a free open source tool designed to support URL-based publishing through the aggregation of online altmetrics. Users create collections of materials and the material is assigned impact categories, such as generally highly saved, cited, recommended, or discussed. This resource is precious for scholars publishing in non-traditional venues or with scholarship too new to have accumulated traditional citations. Access http://impactstory.it/. 3. PLOS Article Level Metrics. Public Library of Science is an open access journal repository. PLOS offers article-level metrics, which measure the influence of individual PLOS articles, the times it is downloaded, mentioned in social media and blogs. PLOS also tracks internal article metrics, such as comments, notes, and ratings. The drawback is that it is only available for PLOS articles. Access http://article-level-metrics.plos.org/. 4. Publish or Perish. POP is a free downloadable program that gathers data from Google Scholar based on the author's name. POP can calculate numerous metrics besides the H-index. Access http://www.harzing.com/pop.htm. 5. Reader Meter is a free tool that focuses on readership and not citations. It gathers data by processing readership from Mendeley. Each report provides information such as an author's R index, GR index, total bookmarks, and top publications by readership. Access http://readermeter.org/. Scholarship in COVID times. The COVID-19 pandemic has produced a tsunami of changes in the field of teaching and implementing the curriculum. Notwithstanding the current difficulties, the need for engaging in medical research persists. In the current context, action research, having quick iterative cycles of design and research, would help substantiate the transformational change that is happening and is required. The use of open access and digital media would facilitate rapid dissemination that is essential in current times. Institutional support and involvement would be necessary to achieve this goal. Growth as a scholar. Just as skill acquisition has a process from novice to expert, the growth of a scholar may be charted similarly. One begins as a novice and gradually becomes proficient. This awareness will guide the choice of journal or platform for presentation. In the process of growth, be aware of the goal, celebrate milestones and achievements along the way. These activities bolster motivation and sensitize the researcher to one's strengths and weaknesses. Figure 3. Growth of a scholar. Beginner. Posters, presentations at local level. Publishing, teaching, learning resources. Writing on social media. Midway. National and professional body grants. Reviewer for national and international journals. Publications in mid-tier journals. Expert. International grants. Publication of justification and clarification research. Editorial board roles in international journals. Status of scholarship today. Educational scholarship has become viable with the development of processes to facilitate growth. Faculty training, grants and scholar programs are budding. There is a change in the promotion criteria where teaching innovations and other SOTR are accepted. New awards and recognitions are evolving, as is the broader availability for dissemination. Most pertinently, new faculty tracks are being considered. As SUMMERISE, we suggest you make a list of critical points you have gathered from this chapter and jot them down below for reference. Evaluate. Reflect on where you place yourself on the ladder of research. How can one take steps to convert one's activities into scholarship? Do a SWOT analysis to understand your strengths and context. What are one's strengths? What is the scholar passionate about and does well? What resources are available? Who can collaborate or mentor? Weaknesses, what needs improvement in individual scholarship skills? What resources are lacking? Opportunities, what opportunities are present? What strengths can one leverage? What trends can be capitalized? Threats, what are the threats preventing the teacher from doing scholarship? Figure 4, SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Road ahead, educational scholarship has come to age in most parts of the world. However, a recent study revealed that most published literature shows that Asians, Africans, and South Americans are underrepresented as authors. The Institute must promote faculty development to facilitate growth in educational scholarship. The institution's role, attitude, help, and how it makes resources available would make this path easier to tread. Improving the quality of studies is the next agenda. Whilst opportunistic studies are simpler to conduct, planned systematic research with robust designs to ensure outcomes may yield more valuable results. Besides discovery, we need to consider working with other disciplines to promote the scholarship of integration. Leadership, including that of the Academy of Health Professional Education, must promote interdisciplinary work. The upliftment is possible by designing innovative research and funding processes dedicated to interdisciplinary work. In order to flourish, interprofessional education and integrative research need support from health universities. Training specialists in translational research is another critical step. The scientific community must push for efficient ways for showcasing the importance of its work to the community. On an individual level, how can one move ahead? One needs to make a concrete plan. The following template can be used to plan further. Table 3, 10 tips to help the progress of a scholarship. Serial number 1. Define goals short, intermediate, and long term. Scholarship progress. Tips. 2. Identify topic for research. Read, collaborate. 3. Decide a topic based on context, interest. 4. Form a team. Decide who will be partners. 5. Write a precise scientific research proposal. Use classics criteria to refine. 6. IRB approval as per the committee. 7. Implement research. Celebrate small wins. 8. Analysis and writing. Take help if required for analysis. Keep writing scientific and simple. 9. Decide journal based on the type of research and context. 10. Hurdles. Troubleshoot, keep motivation going. 11. Publication. Celebrate and prepare for the next project.